7 weeks ago, we started development on our current incremental game, MMO98, and right now, the Steam Next Fest has started like 3 or 4 hours ago, and we're part of that. It's been kind of a crazy journey the last 7 weeks, but I just want to talk about it a little bit and maybe give you some more like actionable tips or things like that as well into like how you can make games faster. It's been a wild ride, guys, and this video, I just want to reflect a little bit because 7 weeks ago, I didn't know yet what was gonna happen. I think 7 weeks ago, basically, I uploaded that video of like, we can't stop canceling games. And I remember thinking to myself, Marnix, you keep canceling all of these games. What makes you think that you're making an incremental game now and you're not gonna cancel it again? You're not gonna ever get to the point of launching your store page. And here we are. The game seems to be doing pretty well. It's not amazing numbers, as in like, you know, we're not 10,000 wishlists already. The Steam page has been live for only like 6 days or something at this point. It's been, like I said, very hectic because we had genuinely nothing 7 weeks ago. So let's first start right at the beginning. Why are we making MMO98? MMO98 was a game that I got the idea of after I watched the video by Payne Robinson of like, here's how much he made with his incremental game. I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I just remember I sent my developer William just a message like zero context, just like incremental game where you manage like the MMO data center or something like that. It was very simple because it was something that, hey, this sounded like a cool, interesting idea. The Windows 98 art style also was good. And he was like, yeah, can work. Next day, what I did is I just made the entire UI, that first version of the UI for the game. I sent it to him and I'm like, let's try this out. And then we just did that. And we had a lot of reality checks along the way where we're like, okay, we're going to spend 1 week on this. And then we're going to playtest it. And then we're going to decide on if we keep working on it, yes or no. That 1 week turned into like 5 weeks, basically, until we actually got the game to a state that we could playtest. That was 2.5 weeks ago from now, basically. And that's the point where we decided, okay, people seem to like this. Next Fest is coming up soon, baby. Let's join that one and let's just make it work. Because if you don't know, this is our full-time job. Game development for us is something that we need to earn money from it. We do not have a second job or whatever. And this ties in later on as well. And we were working before on Pripyat Zero. And we still want to release Pripyat Zero, don't get me wrong. But we also realized that Pripyat Zero, it was a game that we weren't 100% believing in, or like, I believe in it, but it's like we weren't having a lot of fun with the process. I think also coming back from having taken so many L's in 2025, basically. And then also we realized that even if we released this game, this wouldn't be the financial saver that our studio needed, because we're just making an anomaly game, and an anomaly game is inherently... I'm sorry to tell you this, guys, but don't make anomaly games. I think that hype has very much died down, and breaking over like $2,000 with an anomaly game just doesn't make sense. And if this is our full-time job and we need to think about money, then yeah, we need to maybe shift priorities, try to make something else first that has a higher earnings potential, and then we can revisit Pripyat Zero, because I don't want to leave it unfinished. I still think it's a cool game, but it's something that we don't need to make purely from a money perspective. So we started development on it. We iterated a bunch on it, and then we had our playtest. I made a video about how the playtest went over there and just some thoughts and feedback about it. And something unique happened for us. People didn't absolutely hate it. There were so many problems still, especially with that playtest version. But we were like, okay, you know what? We have enough science. And the science for us was that even though the game had a bunch of flaws, people kept playing it. We were looking at like playtimes, like multiple people played the game, the playtest that we designed for like 10-15 minutes for like an hour, 90 minutes. And that was like, okay, this might seem to have some magic sauce. We also really enjoyed development on MMO98. Let's just keep working on it. And this is where that Next Fest part comes in. Because for some more context, when we did that playtest, everyone was like, oh no, you shouldn't release this in the Steam Next Fest. You should wait for the one in June. People were calling me stupid and all kinds of names for that. The reality is our studio cannot survive until like releasing post July, basically, because that would mean Steam payout in August. Our studio financials are currently not that hot. YouTube also is not that hot. So we needed to release earlier. And it's like, okay, either we join this Next Fest and we release in April, or we don't join this Next Fest, and we would probably still have to release before the June Next Fest. Okay, so that begs the question, how did we actually join Steam Next Fest? Because Steam Next Fest registration had already closed before we ever thought about the game idea, because I think Next Fest registration closed on like January 2nd or something like that. If you had like the app credit, you needed to check it. And then we only started development the second week of January, basically. Well, there was this other cancelled project that we had once bought a Steam credit for, and we did nothing else with it. We never set up anything with it. We just had this empty Steam credit. The only thing I did with that was I'd registered it for this Next Fest. And I was like, okay, you know what? We're just gonna rename this like app credit from like the old name to MMO98. And we're gonna just go from there. The game was already registered and this worked. We passed through all of the Steam approvals without any issue. And from there on, we were like, okay, let's just lock in and let's make this game happen. And we definitely locked in. And that brings us to one of the comments that we get often of like, oh, I wish I could develop as fast as you guys. And I'm starting to realize more and more the only reason we were able to make this game so quickly in like 7 weeks. I counted as 6 weeks because both me and William, my developer that we're working with, we both were like miserably sick from like the flu for 1 week that we just, both of us did nothing. It's just down to experience and having more experience and being able to do this full time now. Where if you would have given us this exact same game, I think last year, I don't think we would have been able to make it. Because we're just way more in tune now. This is the third game that I've worked exclusively with William. Like, we know how each other's work. We've worked on other games even before that in like bigger group settings with other developers. I know how he works best. He knows how I work best. We know what we like kind of expect from each other, and we have very good ideas of roles. Game design, we're better at as well. Am I a professional game designer? Hell no. Am I a better game designer than a year ago? Absolutely yes. And all of those things are shining through. Add that to the fact that we are able to put 50, 60 hours a week of development time into this game. And yeah, then you can do wonders like making a game from zero to a pretty good Next Fest build, I would say, in 6 or 7 weeks. Is this actionable for you? Maybe not, because maybe you are working on your first game. I think the important thing that I just want to say is it's going to get easier the more reps you put in. That's why it's like, you know, release multiple small games versus make one big game, because all of those small games individually count as way better reps than spending like one big long ass game. Basically, you're gonna build more muscle. I've been going to the gym a lot lately, so I keep doing a lot of these things. You're going to build more muscle doing 3 sets of 5 reps at a way heavier weight than by doing just one big set of 40 reps at like just a barbell, basically. Sure, it looks cool maybe that you can say I have done 40 reps, but the amount of muscle gained just isn't there. And that same thing is there with game development as well, where having those smaller iterations allows you to learn way more, way faster than for that second game, get the experience from the first game, make second game better, and rinse and repeat. And at this point, this is our 6th commercial game that we're now working on, or like 7 maybe, depending on how you count. We've made a lot of games before. We've gotten better at this thing. And that's the unfortunate truth maybe of like, there is no cheat code. The cheat code is you keep making games. Now, I think speaking of cheat codes, genre definitely did help. Right now, we are in, I think I mentioned it in like our genre tier list as well, incremental games are a big hype right now. And I'm kind of sometimes still having an identity crisis with the game that we're making, because it's not like an incremental game, like for example, a game about feeding a black hole. That's the game that I get the most comparisons with, of like people of like, oh, this game is completely different. How do you call it an incremental game? Because you guys, a lot of you watch Aramis as well. You've seen a game about feeding a black hole. And our gameplay loop is just 180 degrees basically from that, yet both of us have almost the same Steam tags. And that kind of makes it maybe a little bit different, but regardless, if you're making something where the core gameplay loop is focused on number go up, very limited or basically no fail states and all of that, right now is a good point in time to make that. There is a pretty high demand for it. On the other hand, there are a lot of these games also showing up on the Steam Next Fest right now, so maybe it's too late to join the boat. I don't know. You know, when a guy wearing a white t-shirt on YouTube starts talking about here are the top 10 genres to make, you know it's kind of too late for some of those genres maybe already. Where yes, competition for incremental games will get more and more fierce every single Next Fest, every single month, because this is the same as we saw with Survivor-likes, where first you could make a shitty Survivor-like clone basically, and it would still perform well. And now if you release a Survivor-like in the year of our Lord 2026, you're gonna get like 200 wishlists. And that's unfortunately kind of normal, because you just missed that boat. We are right now, I think, on a very good boat with MMO98, and I think that has helped us a lot as well. Because let's talk a little bit about numbers. I'm not gonna dive in too deep. We're going to be making dedicated videos talking about like the full Steam Next Fest breakdown and all of that. But I can talk to you about the experience, how it's been since releasing our store page last week Wednesday. So basically 6 days ago from when I recorded this video and when it goes live, we launched that Steam page. I don't think we really pushed it to our audience that much. I think I just launched it like on a live stream or something like that. I'm like, hey guys, it's there, whatever. Because I try also for this game and for future games, I want to involve our YouTube audience less in terms of marketing. Of course, you guys are still going to be involved, but I don't want to be a game dev YouTuber whose only source of marketing and strategy is, oh, I'm just gonna advertise it to my audience. I'm deliberately trying to pull that away. It's gonna take some time, it's gonna take multiple games probably, but I want to build up Bite Me Games as like the game dev company, and then Bite Me Games as the YouTube influencer persona as like two separate entities at some point, because I think it's just going to be better to learn things as well for me personally. And then we got covered out of the blue. I didn't send any press releases or anything like that basically by 4Gamer, a Japanese media outlet that gave us 250 wishlists. So basically 2 days after our store page went live, we were at about 300 wishlists, I would say. And then we went public with Incremental DB. We tried Galaxy.click, but our web build is just miserable. We were running into so many issues with the Unity web build for our game that we're like, fuck it, we're not doing that. Incremental DB gave us some wishlists, and then itch.io, we also ended up pushing the demo a few days ago. And right before the Next Fest started, we were at 510 wishlists. That's basically what we had when the Next Fest started. And now I think the Next Fest has been going on for 6 hours, but Steam has stopped updating. I think the Steam servers are dying. We're at 763. So we've gained a minimum of 250 wishlists. People always ask me, oh, what are your expectations for the Steam Next Fest? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't really have any expectations coming into the Steam Next Fest, because like I said, the Steam Next Fest for us felt very much like a use it or lose it, because we were going to be releasing this game regardless before the Next Fest. There was no point in delaying it. That's just the financial reality of having to run your studio and trying to make rent due, basically. I think it's been going better than I expected, maybe. My only baseline was I wanted to beat My Virtual Friend, which was the game that we participated in with the Steam Next Fest last year, and that got us 1,000 wishlists over the entire Steam Next Fest. I'm pretty confident we can beat that now based on like the preliminary numbers we have now, but I don't know. Regardless, I'm gonna be happy with it, because I think what's more important than just a pure wishlist is also that this is a game that we are getting a lot of good feedback for, both from the playtest, like we did like a second mini round of playtest right before the demo went live, and now from the demo as well. People do seem to enjoy it. I don't have stats on playtime yet because Steam doesn't want to give them to me. They're just like, oh, there's not enough data, even though we have enough data normally. But the feedback that we get just is like, hey, this game is actually pretty fun. I can't stop myself from playing it. And that's the feedback that I love to hear. Of course, there's still bugs. Of course, we can do more. And this is just an early demo. It's like half demo, half playtest. Like, there's still stuff that I know is wrong, but I'm just happy already that people are enjoying it and that we have signs that are going the right way. Because there's some other things. Do we have content creator coverage for this game? I have sent 0 content creator emails because 2 days ago from when I recorded this video, there was no Steam demo yet. The game was still in active development. It has been kind of crunchy, that's true, but I've also been having a lot of fun. And I'm like, okay, we missed the Steam Next Fest. We knew this was going to happen. It's like, okay, we just have one more round of content creator coverage anyways before we do the release. Maybe we're gonna do a demo update. These are the cards that have been dealt to us, and I think that's kind of the point of running your own studio as well, as like whatever the cards are that you get dealt with, that's how you have to make do. In an ideal world, yes, the demo would have been done 3 weeks ago and I would have been able to send content creators emails and all of that, but that just wasn't possible in this case, because 3 weeks ago we weren't even certain yet if we wanted to submit this game for a Steam Next Fest, if people were going to enjoy the game. That's kind of the nature of these compressed timelines. The benefit is our return on investment cost. If we release this game in April, it would be a 3-month development cycle, basically 3.5 months, is going to be way lower. And I think it still is going to be a very good game based on all of the feedback we have right now. I think that's kind of the main things that I want to talk about. We're gonna dive in way deeper into all of the stats, but also because I've been working so much on the game for the last week, basically, I just didn't have another better video to record to you. So I just wanted to sit down and talk a little bit with you about this. So thank you very much for watching. If you have tried the game yourself, feel free to always give us some feedback. Don't do YouTube comments, please. Post them either in our Discord, we have a dedicated channel for it, or just the Steam discussions. The YouTube comments are kind of miserable to interact with because of like the formatting and all of that, and we can't really go back and forth as easily. If you don't think this is a game for you, that's also perfectly fine as well. Like I said, I'm trying to work towards separating the game dev side and the YouTube side as much as possible. I know this is not a game for everyone. I know this is a very niched and technical game. Guess what? This is also the game that I wanted to make, and clearly there is still an audience for it on Steam as well. Maybe it's not gonna be mainstream slop, but I think it's still going to be a game that's going to find some of its audience. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!